Okay, so I can see that for some reason our edge loop is not connecting. So now a quick way to fix these sort of issues is to use the knife tool. So if you come over to your menu here, okay, you can see I'm in the edit mode. Okay, make sure you are in the edit mode. Make sure you're in the edit mode, and I'll click on this knife tool, and then I'm gonna select. So let me turn on the vertex so I could see the vertices. I'll click on this and then join it to this one, and then press enter. All right, so that's how you fix such issues. So another thing I want to do is I want to select the whole of this row here. Let me look for the fronts, toggle our X-ray mode. So I want this to be somewhere around the tip of the nose. Okay, so maybe we could bring this a little bit down. Let's check from our side views. Okay, select this. I think we distorted this a little bit, so something like that. We can move this back up a bit, somewhere like that. Oh, I think we need to move the reference a little bit down, so we don't need to move things and then come back to see that it's looking different in the other view. Okay, I'm selecting this. I'm gonna click on the edit mode, check this from the front. Okay, alright, it's looking alright. So I'm gonna grab this and take it up a bit. Okay, make sure it's popping out like this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab this and I'm gonna use the proportional editing. I'm gonna select it, grab it, increase the fall off a little bit like this, and then I'm gonna push it towards this way just to match the reference a little bit more, something like this. Or we could take this a little bit to follow this angle. So I'm gonna turn off proportional editing. I'm gonna try to move things around more now. Just try to relax the curve. We just want something a little bit, just kind of eyeball it right there. Okay, let's see. I think we probably could bring this down a bit more. Then yeah, we could now move this like this. We bring it towards this area right here, move it around, but always watch out for the distance. We don't want it to be too close. Okay, let's see what it's looking like. Okay, bring it up a bit. Okay, so I think that's a little bit that could. Alright, so I'm gonna move this. Up a bit more. Okay, just arrange things around. Alright, so look from the side view. Let's see. So and go to the edge mode, select this edge and scale it. Okay, we could look from the side. Let's see. So let's scale it. Okay, something like this. just a little. Don't go too much, something like that. So come over here, go to vertex mode, and right here we are going to start to rearrange this. So let's take this up. It's kind of moving off the reference, so I need to keep things in check. Should be something like this. This one should come over here, this area. Let's use proportional editing. This area should come back towards that angle, and using proportional editing we could bring this area out a little bit more. Okay, so let's turn off proportional editing. Okay, so this edge here we could as well slide it. Maybe you could even slide, I think we should just slide it a little bit somewhere around here. Let's toggle the X-ray. So we want it to be at the middle of the eye. Okay, so we want it to be at the middle of the eye. Slide it towards this area here. Okay, so that's fine. Let's check the nose. I think this nose is too far. Okay, let's try to bring it. Let's try to move it towards this area here, somewhere here. All right. Let's check the flow. Make sure everything is looking okay. Check the side view. Okay, I don't see any issues. Actually, I don't see any issues here. Push this out a little bit. Okay, I don't see any major issues for now. So having done that, now it's time to start bringing out the nose. Okay, so let's go to the front view, toggle X-ray. Let's go to face select. Okay, so we're going to select these two faces. Okay, let's see. Check from the side view. So I'm gonna extrude this towards the front. That is the y-axis, like so. Okay, so we have something like this. Okay, so I'm gonna extrude it front, then I'm gonna grab my edge select. I'm gonna select this edge. I'm gonna check this. See this stuff here? This will clip vertices. It will match the vertices when they meet. So we want to match some vertices. We want to match this. We want to match this vertex to this one back here. So activate this option here, and then we could just go to vertex select, tap on the G key and slide it back. Okay, so now what we can do, we can go to the edge mode, select this and move it in X. Hold on. Okay, let me grab this. Grab this, move it in X. actually we'll grab that one as well. Okay, so I'm starting to see some issues here. These vertices, they're not matched. Okay, they're not matched, so we could move it to the side, and this could run us into some issues later on. So let's move this closer like this. Okay. I'll move this one. For some reason this is not matched. Let's right click, let's merge vertices. Let's merge these vertices. Let's see if they are merged. Okay, alright, that's cool. So now we can select this, move it in X. I think we have these issues just around these areas. Okay, let's do the same for this. Merge vertices. Where is the merge tool? When you do that, make sure both vertices are selected. Okay, let's kind of move it a little bit to the side so we could grab the two, and then we're gonna right click and just merge vertex. Okay, and I know I'm suspecting these issues is just all around these areas. So this is just an easy way, and I think it's a good thing that we are running into these issues together, so that if this happens to you, you will know how to fix it. So I'm gonna merge this one, and let's see, I think we might have the same issue over here. Okay, it's clipped because that's the center point. Let's adjust this. A little bit. Let's move to the side view. Okay, so now we can grab this and move it back, or we could just select the both, use the proportional editing, grab it and move it back. Okay, so turn it off, then we can move these things a little back as well. Move this back. Okay, so we can grab this area here and just position it right at the nose. We could grab this area and try to push it down, this area coming out, so we got this flow of the face. Okay, so let's look from the front, let's look from the top view. I think it's all rounded pretty nicely, but I think the face area here is quite too large. Okay, normally this area should be smaller compared to the back of the head. The head area here should be bigger than the front of the face. So because we got the brands more dominant over here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use my proportional editing tool. I'm going to grab this, increase the fall off, and I'm going to just reduce the volume a little bit from the top, like so. Okay, alright, and we could grab this and let's look from the side, see what we're about to make changes to. Let's see. Okay, look from the top again. I think it's rounded pretty nicely. We could actually bring this a little bit forward. Let me reduce the proportional editing. Okay, can bring this forward ahead like this, so our face is not too backwards. Okay, let me see. Just get it rounded pretty nice. Okay, we could as well enlarge the brain, because this is where the head, this area should be bigger in the head proportion. Okay, I think that's pretty nice. So always try to make these subtle changes. It's gonna help, it's gonna add a lot of difference in the character. Okay, it's gonna be a lot of difference that you're gonna add to the character. Okay, so let's see, this is the nostrils. Let me turn off proportional editing. Let's move this to the side like so. Let's look from the side. Can take this up, try to make this nose pretty stylized. Okay, and bear with me, you know, we're taking a lot of time to make sure that everything is well aligned before we move ahead. I think this step is very crucial, because if you go any further and you didn't make these changes, it's gonna be a huge challenge for you to adjust. So it's a good thing that we are able to adjust these changes right here, right now, while we can see them. So I could grab this. Okay, maybe reduce the fall off and try to bring it out a bit more. Okay, and maybe same for this area here. Okay, this one here, we could do these adjustments to it. Okay, so I think this area is coming out pretty much. Let's increase the fall off so it goes in nice and smooth. Okay, maybe this area here, let's increase the fall off. We could actually adjust. Okay, so something like this. Let me turn off the fall off and just manually kind of eyeball this. Okay, so I think it's looking okay, it's looking nice. So let's see, this area of the nose, I think it's too wide. We can reduce it. Maybe this area we could expand it a little bit more. And for the nose, it's gonna give it some nice shape. Make this pointed towards the floor. Okay. Alright, so I think it's coming up pretty nice. We could reduce this a little bit if we want. Okay. We could still reduce this more. And watch the topology. Keep this nice and straight. Alright. Okay. I think it's looking nice. So let's now tackle the mouth of the character. Okay, let's tackle the mouth. So we're gonna come over to here to this side view and make sure this is coming out quite a lot. I'm gonna grab this. Okay, I'm gonna push it back a little bit. Remember, we're following the reference, so make sure to follow the reference pretty well as best as you can, so you don't end up creating something different from the reference you have. Okay, I think this area here we could take it up a tiny bit. Okay, and also watch the topology. Okay, I think it's looking pretty nice. We could as well slide this back, kind of to create a nice slide shape over here. We could do it this way. So next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna come over here to the front. Alright. Okay, so let's check all around our character and figure out where we have issues. I can see this area here. You might wanna push it this way a little bit, push it out a little bit, just to give it very nice shape. Okay, so this is the shape that we have. This right here, we could push it inside a tiny bit. So it's always good to look around your model and try to see from the eyeball which areas might need to be adjusted and make the necessary changes while you can, so that it won't later become a pain for you later down the line. So now you can see we have a lot of geometry going on here. I'm not concerned about this edge loop. I'm gonna get rid of it anyway, so I wouldn't mind getting rid of that particular edge right there. So let's look at the front. Let's look at our front view. Check our reference. Okay, so I think we are really a little bit off reference. Let me select this, look at reference, grab this, and let's see. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna select this reference. I'm gonna try to push it to be at least around the middle, right here. Okay, so go back to the editing mode. So I'm gonna grab this. I'm gonna bring it down like this. Okay, I'm gonna grab this. I'm gonna push it up like so. Okay, so this area, I think this area, it starts to go inwards like this. Alright, so something like that. We don't want it to be too big. Let's see right here. Okay, okay. That's quite alright. So we can maybe let me check from the side view. front view, grab this, bring it down a little bit. Okay, maybe this. Yeah, I think that's fine for now. Okay, that would do for the nose. Let me go to the side view reference again, and as you can tell, we have an issue with the reference. Now the reason for this is because the proportion of the image itself does not align or correspond with each other, so that's why we are having all these issues here and there. Okay, so if you run into this issue, just move your image to match the model. Okay, that's all you need to do, just move it to match the model. All right, now I'm going to go back to the editing mode. Okay, now we have some things to tidy up here, so I'm going to grab this, bring it towards the front. Okay, grab this. Okay, so you can see this is the nose. Okay, this right here, we could slide it a bit back. All right, so now this one we could bring it down this way. Okay, and this is the mouth area. Need to keep it to be round somewhere around here. All right, so we gotta make sure everything is nice and well laid out. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna now move to the front. Now it's time to start creating the mouth of our character. Also try to watch the topology you can see over here. So let's straighten this. Okay, so I think it's now time to create the mouth. Okay, let's watch this. I think we could slide this in a tiny bit, maybe this one as well. Okay, look from the side. Alright, so let's work on the mouth. So for the mouth, I'm going to go to the face. I'm going to select these faces, these 4 faces, and I'm going to insert this, and I'm going to tap by, I'm using I, so use I to insert. Let me go back. So select this, press I to insert. Okay, you can see, and then I'll press B to insert to boundary. Okay, so let me do that again. We'll insert, but meanwhile we have an issue here. Something is clipping over here. This is not supposed to clip in. All right, but we can of course fix this issue. Okay, so let's see, let's insert. Let's insert like this, tap B, and insert to boundary like this. Okay, so now for this area, I'm going to create another topology for it. I'm going to cut it off from here, join it to this area and here. Okay, so now we can get rid of this particular line. So you might not run into this issue. So if you do, it's just an easy fix. You don't have to worry much about it. So I'm going to dissolve these edges. Okay, so now we can select this. We can select this. Okay, and we can now scale it down. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to look to the front view. Okay, so I'm going to select these top edges. I'm going to grab it, I'm going to move it down, all the way down, okay, towards the mouth section. And don't worry about the shape yet, we'll fix that. Okay, so I'm gonna go to vertex, and we need to shift things around. So this got to be here, so position this where they need to be. So now if you watch closely, this character's mouth, let's see, I think we've got the reference here, Nico guy. Okay, so let me see if I've got that. Okay, I think it's this one here. So if you watch closely here, you can see this character's mouth is not straight. You can see the definition of the mouth. You can see it is more like a half circle. Okay, so we need to define. You can see here, so we need to make sure we enforce that shape in our character. It's gonna help to define who this character really is. Okay, it's gonna help us to define this character a lot. So I'm gonna grab this, I'm gonna put it somewhere here, so it needs to go this way, right? So we're gonna push this up, and as well this. Okay, so let's push this down, grab this, push this up. This should be around here. Let's push this up. Okay, so this as well, and then we're gonna grab the entire thing here. So basically I'm trying to get that shape. I'm trying to get to that shape that we want for this character. So I'm gonna select this, I'm gonna bring this down like so. I'm gonna select this, take it up like so. Let's see, I think we're a little bit off. Let's drag this down. So we are not worried about the map, because actually we're not gonna be opening the mouth. So this will just be a simple stylized character. Okay, so we don't have to worry about that. I think we have some issues going on here. Let me go back. See what's going on here. Okay, I see something. Let's see, what's this? Let's grab this, push it back. Let's see what's going on here. Okay. Let's go back. Okay, so this is the issue we have in here. Okay, so we have an issue here. Let me move this up. See what could be wrong with this. Select this edge. I'm gonna dissolve this edge, or rather delete the edges. Okay, so this that's the issue. Well, let's just see if that fixes this. So I'm just gonna quickly go back. Okay, so now you can see we don't have that issue going on again. So just bear with me as we run into these issues. So I think it's totally fine. When you model, things are just not gonna be, most times it's just not gonna go as easy as you think it would be. So if it happens to you, so just know that, okay, this is what you need to do to fix it. So let's insert and bound. Okay, so let's look from the front. So I'm gonna grab this. Okay, so I'm gonna select these edges here. I'm gonna move them down, all the way down. Okay, so what I can do is I can go to the front view, go to the display properties menu. Let me make sure I'm in the object mode. Let me go to the display. Where is that? Okay. Alright, so this is it right here. So what we could do, I could actually increase the opacity a little bit, just to kind of watch the flow of the shape. So it's not much different from what we were aiming for. So what I just need to do, I'm gonna grab this, tab into edit mode, go into vertex, grab the vertex. I'm gonna start arranging this where they need to be. Take this up, grab this up, take this up too. So we need to arrange this one as well. Move this down, move this down, move this up. Okay, maybe not too close. Move this way and try to shape it, just arc him out. So I'm gonna grab this, move it towards the x-axis, just bring it closer to this. Grab this, so we're trying to shape this. You can select this, you can scale it in like so. I think this is too down. Grab all of this, bring it down. See, this character have a very stylized mouth, okay, that we need to emphasize. So we have to define that as well. Bring this way, something like that. Okay, so I can grab everything, bring it down. So something like this is what we're aiming for when it comes to this particular character. Okay, so let me see. Yeah, I could. Something like this. Okay, so I think this something like this will work for us. Okay, so it's got a tiny mouth, so let me just scale this in the Z to kind of space things out a bit for the mouth. Okay, so alright, something like this. Alright, so go to the front view. Now we need to push this towards the front. Let's see here. Alright, actually this one here, we could push it towards the back. Let's see. Could push this towards the back. Can push it towards the back like so. Like so. Okay, so I think it's coming up nice. So this one we could actually get it out of the way. Let's check our reference. Proportional editing, move things in place where they need to be. Alright, so I'm just moving things around so you can go through your own model and try to do the similar thing. Okay, I can see this is pumping out way too much outside. Same for this. So this area, we could bring it. Just make sure you're selecting only one vertex and not double vertices. So according to the flow of the jaw, it needs to go rounded like this. Okay, let's check them out. Okay, now we can start to shape the jaw a little bit better. So we'll bring it down and move this. I think I could use proportional editing for here. Okay, so I could slide this towards this area. We'll actually move it towards this area here. Okay, maybe so there's the jaw here. This can be here now. Okay, so just go around and make some tiny adjustments that you feel is necessary for your character. So I think this, I need to adjust this. This up. Done a proportional editing. I don't need to see that. This over here. Do the same for here. I'll move this back as well. Okay. See. So yeah, so next thing we're gonna do now, we're gonna add subdivisions. So I'm gonna select these objects, make sure they're safe. I'm gonna go to properties. I'm gonna add subdivision modifier to this. I'm gonna add one division, maybe two divisions. Okay, so this is what we have now. So I'm gonna right click this and shade smooth. Okay, so I'm gonna go to the edit mode again. Now it's gonna be more about shifting things around. Okay, it's gonna be more about shifting things around where you want them to be. So what I'm gonna do, I could take this, go to the side view. Okay, I could pump this out even further. Okay, to suggest the nose there, right? And when you move this, just have to watch very closely, because in the X-ray mode, the subdivision surface is not going to be that very obvious. So you have to watch. When you move this too far, you cannot see it, right? So just use that, shape the head as best as you can. Let's see right here. Okay, and this for the jaw. Okay, let's look from the front. Alright, that's totally fine. Let's check here. Not bad. About this, we could use proportional editing as well. Okay, so this as well. And of course, let's bring this out a little bit. So I'm sure you cannot get the gist, so I want to make the head a little bit wider. Alright. Not bad. So I could pick this over here, and let me turn off proportional editing. Let me see, grab this, take it up a notch, grab this, push it to the side to create that nice nose. Go to the side view, go in X-ray mode, grab this, take it inside like so. Okay, I'm gonna grab this one, I'm gonna push it to the side like this. Okay, and I'm gonna grab this. Alright, grab this, position it pretty well. Alright, something like that. Come over here. This is how the shape of the face is actually. So grab this, push it forward, grab this, push it down. Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna select this. I'm gonna grab it and push it back a bit more. So just to suggest that mouth shape, but it's the mouth is not that obvious. So I think we need to make some tiny adjustments over here. We could scale this in a little bit more. Let's see. And we can as well push this forward, or either way. Let me see. Okay, so I'm gonna grab this edge loop right here. I'm gonna grab this edge loop here. I'm gonna bevel it, so it's gonna help us to define the mouth of this character. As you can see, the mouth is coming along. Okay, it's coming up. Alright, so to help us with the topology of this character, as you see, this here is very damped in. You can see there's this thing going inside here. I don't really like that. So what we can do, we can manually create some topology to help us with this. Okay, so I can start from here, create this, go here, go here, here, and here and here. Okay, so this is how the mouth topology needs to flow. So I'm gonna go to the edit mode. I'm gonna grab this from the sides. Let's look from the sides, and then you can start to arrange these things a little bit better. Okay, so now if you go to the first mode and grab this, you can see this is the loop of the mouth. Okay, and let's see, one more thing we need to do. We need to define this flow here. So let me go to vertex select. Let me sort of bring this down like so. This one is running through the nose. Okay, let's see. We can go to the knife tool again. The knife tool. Select this, and put it here. So we'll go to the edit mode. Could grab this and dissolve edges. Or rather, I think we could leave it. We could leave it that way. Okay, we could leave it that way. Let's see. Maybe this is way too inside. It's way going inside. Let's see. Something around here is just okay for us. Bring the nose up a bit more. Okay, this is the mouth section. Let's try to position it as best as we can. So now we have more topology to work with. I'm gonna turn off this proportional editing, and I'm gonna move this towards like this. Okay, alright, something like that. So I'm just trying to move these and get it to match the flow that I want for this character. Okay, so let's see right here. So what's going on there? Maybe we could take this, go to the side view. I think it's way too inside. Let's see right here what's going on. Could come down. Okay, so yeah, go to the object mode, and this is what we have. So you can go around and figure out, like, I think we have some fix to do here. I don't want to waste too much of your time, so I'm probably gonna do this off, and then when we come back to the next lecture, we'll continue from where we stopped. So I encourage you as well to also go look around your model and figure out which areas you think would need to be fixed. Okay, which areas needs to be fixed, and make the appropriate changes there. So see here, move this, grab this. Could shift this towards this area. And we can add more topology around here to help us with this. So what I can do is I can basically just go to my knife tool. Okay, hope you can see this. So I'm gonna start from here and join it to the nose. Okay, so we probably wouldn't need this flow, this edge here. So I'm gonna tackle this edge, delete this off edge. Let's see, so we could align this a little bit more. We could create additional topology. Let's just see how it's looking for now. Let's see. Knife tool. Let's create additional topology here. Okay, so obviously we're gonna need to move this around here as well to relax the edges. So for these, I'm just gonna shift things around. And make sure you turn this off so it doesn't match any edges for you that you don't want. So I'm gonna move these to the front. Now this is looking a bit weird. It's not a realistic human face. You can tell from our reference image that this character is very stylized. Okay, so we need to emphasize that as well. So that is what we are trying to achieve here. We'll try to relax the surfaces. Okay. So yeah, that will be the end of this section. So I encourage you to go around, push things around, try to refine the shape of the head, and make sure that yours is looking even much better and matching with your reference. So in the next series, in the next class, actually we are going to finalize the head. We'll add the eye to the head. We're gonna create the shape of the eyes, and we're gonna refine other areas of the face, and then we talk about how we will plan in we talk about our plan on how we can make the eyebrows. And as for the hair, you know, this guy has got hair. Okay, now we are gonna make realistic hair. Okay, that's the fun part of this class. So I know a lot of other courses, they just show you polygonal hair, but in this particular one, we are going to be doing a realistic head for this character. All right, so yeah, it's gonna be awesome. So you learn how to make realistic hairs. All right, so I can't wait to have you. So I hope to see you in the next class. So bye bye for now. Have fun. Happy modeling. Good day. Goodbye.